So welcome again to another episode of Crypto State Africa. Of course, this channel is dedicated to reviewing blockchain projects in Africa and also across the world. And same thing, we also review news and what's happening in the media within the blockchain industry in Africa and also within the blockchain industry globally. And of course, we always start with reviewing the markets. We can see over here, everything seems to be quite red. That in the top 50 cryptocurrencies, obviously after the $12,000 around $12,000 high bull run, the market started turning down, and we've been having a little bit of a bear market, or rather a bear trend ever since. You can see over here, as soon as we reach that point, the market has been going in reverse, but I'm assuming that it's going to bounce back again. But of course, this is not just, I'm not really in here and for the technical analysis kind of things. I'm here to just more than anything check out the news and review a couple of projects. So today I'm going to start first with, of course, one of the reasons why this channel started in the first place is because there's so many opportunities for cryptocurrency, specifically within the blockchain industry in Africa, because of how, there's a lot of people that are, for example, a lot of people that are unbanked, so they can't afford to, open up bank accounts. And also just some countries have just too many, political unrests and just a lot of things happening there. For example, South Sudan's inflation rate was 102% between September 2016 and September 2017, according to the World Bank. Other countries with double-digit inflation rates include Egypt, Ghana, Malawi, Mozambique, Nigeria, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So you can imagine already, if your economy is always, this kind of, should I say ridiculousness? But basically, if your economy is like this, obviously you really can't rely on the government's financial system or even the banks. So, and a couple of countries that are actually, adopting Bitcoin quite well are these ones over here. That's Botswana, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. I know Zimbabwe, there's a high use of also Bitcoin, but also specifically in South Africa, where I'm from, there's also a high usage of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. In fact, some stores, they actually accept Bitcoin. So, it shows a lot about how the adoption of cryptocurrency is really spreading worldwide. So another point in the article that I really came across that was interesting was this one that says, fearing a collapse of the banking industry or arbitrary appropriation of money by the government, Africans without access to banks and who live in politically unstable countries could be attracted to cryptocurrency. We already see it happening in Zimbabwe. We already see it happening in South Sudan, like the article suggests. So it says a lot. Even in Venezuela, if I go across the ocean, Venezuela are also using Bitcoins and some sort of cryptocurrencies. So it shows a lot how this technology has really addressed the topic of financial inclusion. And then, of course, there's a couple of blockchain projects which we are still yet to review on our show. One of them are Abra, which is operating in Morocco and Malawi. We also have GeoPay from South Africa, BitMari in Zimbabwe, and London-based KoboCoin. So there's a couple of projects here in Africa. There's one in South Africa also by the name of Wala. That's just one of the few projects that are happening. There's also exchanges. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Luno. But also, again, another point in the article that I came across was Quartz Africa, an online business news publication, reported last December that a similar scheme, Mavrodi Mundial Moneybox, which is Triple M, once had over 2 million users in Nigeria, while also operating in Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. Okay, so now I'm just going to only speak for South Africa. So I remember that when Triple M was in the country, or rather when the whole commotion and just the trend and everything, everyone's attention was just on Triple M and how they can easily and quickly make money for themselves. It was quite crazy, but eventually, of course, it was found out that it's a pyramid scheme and a lot of people actually got scammed. Because of this failed, or this reputation that online money, or basically performing financial transactions online, that made people to be scared and less trusting of anything that's online. So that's the only challenge that I know will affect South Africans when it comes to adopting cryptocurrencies, because the first thing that will just come to their mind, in my opinion, will be what happened to them over the Triple M saga. But I just hope that as time goes on, this will be easily adopted or in some way or another. But of course, also South Africa's central bank is actively studying cryptocurrency. Like I've mentioned, there's actually a consortium also formed by South Africa's central bank, or rather Reserve Bank, with all the other financial banks, commercial financial banks in the country. So it says a lot that most probably in future South Africa also will, of course, adopt cryptocurrency. But that's all for now, guys. Tune in to the next episode where we review some more news, media, and some blockchain projects, and just to see what's happening overall in the blockchain ecosystem in Africa and the world. See you next time. Cheers.